Welcome back, everybody. This is the fourth tutorial in the C# tutorial videos. This tutorial is actually going to be about if statements and comments. One thing that you want to remember about your programs are, especially if you're getting into it professionally, um, sometimes you're not going to be the one that has to go in and change it or fix bugs or anything like that. So what we do is we try to actually put comments in there so other people can understand what we were thinking at the time or what we were actually trying to do or anything like that. So what we're actually going to do is we'll start off with adding just a little bit of code, and what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, um, we want a console dot out okay, dot right line, and inside of here all we want to do is put the quotes, and we will say enter the score of your last test grade. Okay, so after that we will get the actual input. So we want console dot read line, and since we are going to get most of the time an integer, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put int, and we'll just say x for right now. Or actually, this is a good point. What we want to do is most of the time whenever you have a variable, you want to actually give it a name so people can actually read your code without having to heavily comment it. So with this, what we'll actually name this is we'll actually go test score, and we will actually set this to 0. So down here we'll actually take test score equals, and remember we actually have to convert this, so convert dot to int32, and then put that into parentheses. Okay, and read line needs capital L. I should fix that. Okay, so now for a comment, what we will do is we'll actually go above this. Even though it's readable, we want to put \\\, and this is the variable that holds the test input. Okay, so this will actually tell somebody basically what we're actually doing. So right here we'll do the same thing, and we'll say this is the input. We'll say this is the output, and input to get the test from user. So this is an easy way for people to go back and read your code. and be able to actually see what you were trying to do. Now there is another comment, or type of comment, that I'll actually go over in a little bit. So what we'll actually do right now is I'm going to go over if statements. So inside of an if statement, basically you say if something is true or if something is false, if something is greater than or if something is less than, then it's going to do this. And if it's not this, then it's going to do something else. So you can have a statement that says if, and put the parentheses, and I like to go ahead and get this set up for the actual code, and then go back up here and we'll say if test code or test score is greater than we'll go college, so 60, then inside here what we can actually do is console dot out dot write line, and we'll say you passed. Okay, so whenever we actually put this in here and we run it, it says enter your test score. So we're going to say 75, and it says you passed. Now if we run it again and we go in here and we put 50, nothing happens. But if we hit the enter again, then it cancels out the program. Well, that's because this is in its own code. If it doesn't pass this statement for right here, then it's going to not even run this code at all. It's going to bypass this. So now what we need to do is we need to actually put what's called an else statement. And normally I like to put this right here, or you can put it underneath else, and then we do it the same way. We got the curly brackets, and inside here we'll actually do the same thing as we did up here, except we will actually change this to failed, and we want that capitalized, so it's out there, you failed. So let's go ahead and run this. Now if we do this again, we'll actually put in 50, and you got you failed. So this is basically how the actual if statement works. Now another thing that we can actually do is if we go in here and we have this code right here that we don't want, and we don't want it to run whenever we actually run the program, or we'll do one even better. We'll do this if statement. So we'll actually put in this comment line. So this is the actual comment to comment out multiple lines. And as you see, this still shows up, this still shows up. So whenever we actually run this, we can go over here, we can put 50, and nothing happens. It doesn't show anything. And if we were to put in, 75 again, still nothing's going to happen, because this part right here is actually commented out. It's like this doesn't even exist when the actual program runs. And this is a block comment. This is a single line comment right here, and this is the block comment. This is good for, as you see, blocks of code that whenever you're debugging, you can actually comment out to keep it from running, to actually make sure that this part is what's messing up, or you don't want this to run because you want it to run quicker so you can check the other parts. So let's take this out and run it one last time. and we'll put in here 85, and you passed, just for a second time for you to see that. Okay, so that's the end for this tutorial on if statements and comments. Next tutorial I'm going to actually try to get into while loops and do while loops. So just keep watching the videos, and if you would, just like, subscribe, and comment. That way I can actually get my videos out there to try to help other people with this. So thanks again for watching the videos, and see you next time.